My name's Jennie McBride with All Is Light, and today I wanted to share why that quote I shared earlier this week from church was so meaningful to me. Earlier this week, a young man shared in church, if you have negative thoughts, send them back to where they came from. Send them back to hell. And I loved that quote, and I wanted to share with you why that was so personal to me, why out of everything I learned in church that day, that thought repeated over and over, and I just wanted to share it with you. And I also want to share why that was so personal. So many years ago, I struggled with generalized anxiety disorder, and at the time I didn't have a name for it. I didn't know what was wrong. I just was scared. I couldn't sleep, was losing tons of weight, and I'd gone to other social workers, and it seemed to make things a little worse. They tried, but they sort of said, you're broken, you're always going to be broken. That made me more anxious. And so I went and talked to one of my religious leaders about what I was experiencing and how scared I was and some of the thoughts I was having. And he counseled me to go back to therapy. And I was really scared it wouldn't work. It hadn't worked before. Why would it work now? And what that young man shared reminded me of the first meeting I had with my clinical psychologist. And I just love this man. He's literally helped me find the power of Jesus Christ and find truth that could set me free out of hell. And this was one of the first questions he said that I knew I was up to going to have a different experience this time. And it helped decrease the anxiety in half. He literally said, after I shared some of these horrible thoughts I'd been having and some of these fears I had, he said, well, what if that thought's not from you? That had never occurred to me. Like, I was having all these negative thoughts, and I thought I was the source of all the negativity in my head. I thought it came all from my heart and mind. Now, logically, as a Christian and a believer, I believe that God can influence me for good, right? But why hadn't I considered that Satan can influence me for bad? It just had never crossed my mind. So him sharing that one thought decreased my anxiety in half. So I love this young man's quote. If you have negative thoughts, send them back to where they came from. Send them back to hell. I testify there is a God who loves us, and we all have an enemy who hates us and wants to drag our souls, our butts down to hell. And he will influence us just the way God's Spirit influences us, through our heart and our mind, through thoughts. But we get to choose which thoughts we entertain and which ones we send back to hell. So if you're having negative thoughts, send them back to where they came from. Send them back to hell. Thank you for joining me in these messages. If you like them, please like, subscribe, and share.